everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all really well. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've got lots of different tools in the adaptive tools collection for my Cricut Maker, and I'm wondering whether I can use them for different functions with my machine. So what I'm going to do today is take 4 different tools. 2 of them are used for scoring and 2 of them are not, and I'm going to see whether they work for scoring as well. So I'm going to take my scoring wheel and a scoring stylus, and I'm going to compare the quality of the scoring lines that I get with a foil transfer tip and the fine debossing tip. I'm going to see how it works out and see whether you could use those for scoring if you haven't got the scoring stylus or the scoring wheel. So let's get started and see how we get on. Let's just quickly run through the different materials and tools that I'm going to be using in today's video. So I've got 4 different tools just here that I'm going to be using for scoring today. This is the fine debossing tip, and this is tip number 21. Obviously this is made for debossing and not particularly for scoring, but because of the way that it dents the material when it goes through it, I think it might work for scoring. So I'm going to give that a go. I have got the single scoring wheel here, and that's in a quick swap housing with the plunger on the top. So what you can do is just press that plunger down and the tip comes off. So I'll be using this housing for the debossing tip as well. I do have the double scoring wheel as well, but I'm going to concentrate on just the single one today. Then I've got the foil tip kit here, and I'm using the medium point in here, and you can tell it's the medium one because it's got these 2 silver lines on it just there. And again, it's a quick swap type housing, so it's got a plunger on the top and you can just pop that in there and it's magnetized inside, so it holds it in. Then I've got the scoring stylus, which will just fit into the pen clamp on my Cricut Maker, and as you can see, I haven't opened it yet. I bought this from Walmart in the States last month when we were there, so I'm going to give it a go and see how I get on with it. I have said in previous videos that I don't get on very well with this scoring wheel, but I do ever such a lot of scoring, so I need to get a really good way of doing it. And then I've got here 3 of my most used materials. So I use just plain like card. This is actually a waste product that comes in with the greetings cards in the shop, so I keep it and I reuse it for all my different projects. Okay, so then I've got a piece of just normal medium cardstock. This is from a Hobbycraft premium cardstock pack. I think this retails at £11 now, and you get 200 sheets. And then underneath that I've just got a piece of silver foil finish card as well, and I use a lot of both of these, so it's going to be interesting to see how they stand up when we're using all these different tools on them. So I've just hopped into Cricut Design Space then, and I've already prepared my little rectangles that I'm going to cut out and I'm going to score. So I've made 4 different ones and I've just attached the different lines to them. Each different coloured rectangle has got a different line on it there. So you can see on the green one it's for the foiling tip, and then for the pink one it's a scoring line. So I'm either going to use the scoring stylus or the scoring wheel. And then this blue one here is the debossing tip there, and they are on the screen, they do look a little bit different. So the dashed ones here are both the scoring lines, the red one here is the foil, and then this quite thick one is the debossing one. So I've done each one of these in a different colour, so that when I go through to the Make It screen, it's going to come out with 4 different mats. And I'm going to cut and score all of these different things. So I'm going to switch the camera around so you can basically watch me work. It's going to probably take a few minutes to do, and then I'll come back and I'll show you these comparisons between the 4 different tools and which one I think is the best one. Okay, so you want to make sure that you've got the medium cardstock setting for your first piece of material, because it's a really important thing that you make sure that you've got the correct material for your tool. So now it says loaded single scoring wheel and the fine point blade. So that's coming up in a moment. Let's click go. Now, because I'm going to change my tool to the scoring stylus, what I need to do is click on this here where it says edit tools, and now you can see it gives me the 3 options. So for score, I can either use the scoring wheel, which is recommended, or I can use the scoring stylus. So I'm going to click onto the scoring stylus and then click on apply. Right, here is the scoring stylus. Pop it into there and hit go. That took a while to complete. So I've got all of my bits cut now and they've all been scored using the different tools here. So I've written on them which one is the Deboss, which one's the foil tip, which one's the scoring stylus, and which one is the single scoring wheel. So this is my medium cardstock. This is my poster board type thicker cardstock. I would say this is probably around 240 GSM, there or thereabouts, and this one with the foil layer again is about 220 to 230 GSM, so it's not as thick as this, but it's going to be interesting to see how they have performed. So I'm going to start off with the single scoring wheel, so let's get those ones here first, and let's have a fold. So with the single scoring wheel on the medium cardstock, it's a nice crisp score. It's actually quite good. On this one, it's not quite so crisp. I really feel as though I need to press that quite a lot in order to get that to be a really crisp score line. It does look a little bit wrinkly on the top. And then the scoring wheel on this one, on the foil, is actually okay as well. It hasn't split that foil layer, which is what I'm most interested in, because sometimes I do find if I use the double scoring wheel on this type of cardstock, sometimes it will actually tear through that foil layer, and therefore when you fold it, it doesn't give a very nice finish, which is interesting. So I declare that they're all pretty good apart from this one. So I'm going to have an overall winner for each piece of material at the end. So the debossing tip, which is this one that's on here now, I'm going to do the folding on this. It's created quite a thick line across there, and that folded really nicely. That's quite nice as well. That one's lovely. I like the way that has folded with the debossing tip. I think because it's such a thick scoring line, it's actually come out really good. This one I'm not so keen on. It's made it a little bit wrinkly on the top. I don't know whether because it is such a thick line, whether it has affected that laminated foil. It looks okay, but I do prefer this one, I think. So let's have a look at the next one. So foil tip next. This is an interesting one again because it's quite a thick line that comes out on the material, but on the screen it does look pretty thin. So let's have a look at this. That's quite nice. Okay, so I don't think you'll be able to see this on here, but that has actually gone through the top of that card. I don't know whether you might just be able to pick it up on there. So that has actually damaged that card, because again it's like a laminated card. You can really see if I fold it back that it's torn through the top of that. So the foil tip probably isn't very good for that one. I reckon it's probably going to have done the same with the foil card. So let's do that. Let's see. No, it's not bad, but it has made it quite wrinkly you can see it's gone into that foil. It hasn't gone through it like it has with the card, but it's okay actually, it's pretty good. And then the medium cardstock, again, because it's quite a light material, absolutely perfect score, looks fab. Right, then the last one we've got is the scoring stylus. Where's my foil piece? There it is. Right, so this is the scoring stylus, and this is the first time this scoring stylus has been used. So let's fold that over. And this one. And this one. Alright then, so medium cardstock, again, nice finish, nice and crisp scoring line. No damage, which is good. Really easy to fold again, but again, probably because it's a really light material. And then the stylus on the foil. There's no damage to it. It's nice and smooth. There's no wrinkling, which is lovely. Nice and easy to fold. Again, and then stylus on this laminated cardboard. Pretty good. It has torn through it slightly. You can see there is a little sort of wrinkled line there, and it has started to come away there, so don't really like it for that one, but overall the scoring stylus is pretty good. So let's go through who are the winners. Alright, so here are my winners. So for my thicker cardstock, which is laminated, I have chosen the single scoring wheel. It's given a lovely crisp score along the line there. It hasn't damaged through the lamination of the card. It looks nice and it was easy to fold. With the foil one, I've chosen the scoring stylus. I was pleased with how this one turned out. It hasn't torn through the lamination of the foil. It's a nice crisp score, and I would definitely recommend the scoring stylus for ease of use, because obviously you can have this in your machine at the same time as your fine point blade and you don't have to keep swapping out your tools. Quick swap tools are brilliant on the Cricut Maker, however it is a really time consuming thing. Having to keep taking out your scoring wheel and then putting back in your fine point blade. When I did the ones with the stylus, it was such a streamlined and easy cut and score, so I would definitely recommend the scoring stylus for this particular type. And then for the medium cardstock, I've actually got a bit of a tie because I like the way that the foil tip scored on this. It was a lovely crisp score and it hasn't damaged the cardstock at all, and I just like the way that it's folded over there. It looks fab, and it's tied with the scoring stylus again for the reasons that I mentioned earlier on with the ease of use of the scoring stylus versus the scoring wheel system. If you've got a lot to do and you want it done quick, this is the way to go for sure. The scoring stylus has scored through this medium cardstock really nicely. It was easy to fold and it's a really pronounced score, which is nice. So I am pleased with how that has turned out. I really hope you've enjoyed this video and that you have found out something new. Obviously, it wasn't a massive surprise that the scoring stylus came out on top, and also the scoring wheel did a good job as well, because obviously they are made for scoring and the other two are not. But isn't it interesting to see that if we've maybe left our scoring wheel or our scoring stylus at a friend's, if we've been crafting together or whatever, that we can use our other tips and our other tools to complete the task in hand. So I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you have, give me a big thumbs up down below. Maybe consider subscribing as well, because I'd love to see you again. I hope you have a brilliant week. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.